watched her out of sight. Then he started to amble down the little lone path to look for some beetles. He was ambling along in his lazy way, for you know he never hurries, when he heard someone puffing and blowing behind him. Of course he turned